All right, I guess we have a little bit of technical difficulties here. All right, I guess we have a little bit of technical. Nothing wrong with that. So let's just go back and I'll see if I could read it and see if you guys can hear me. Let's just try this again. Hopefully can you guys hear me? Testing. Okay. Sound is back. All right. All right, so let's just go back. So we can go back to the beginning here. Let me see here. All right, so Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, "Let there be a light," and there was light. And God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness, and God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. All right, let me just come back to the screen and see if you guys can still hear me. All good. So far, so good. Yeah, I don't know why. So bizarro world. All right, so let's just start here. All right. Okay, how about now? Testing 1, 2, 3. Having little audio issues here. All right. Let me go over here. So God called the dry land and the earth together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. So far, so good. Okay. So funny. All right. Yeah, it could be internet. Who knows what's going on here? All right. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the light from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made two lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. he made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning was the fourth day. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and the fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, and saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and the beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and said unto them, be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. I'm just going to make this a little bigger here. And let's get rid of this. Can I? Get rid of that. Maybe that's too big. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth. Maybe this is cut off here. Let's bring that down a bit. When there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day ended his work, which God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in that he had rested from all his work which God created and made. And these are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into four heads. The name of the first is Pison, which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. And there's Benjamin and onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth, that's a little bit tricky, the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. And the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and of every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air. That's kind of interesting as well, that he's also naming the fowl of the air. And to every beast of the field. But for Adam there is not found an helpmeet for him. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? It's interesting. They says ye. Hath God said ye, as in more than one person? And the woman said unto the serpent, We, meaning my husband and I, may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, Ye shall not eat of it. So both of them. Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. So she's adding a little bit there. A little bit of a touch. A woman's touch, you might add. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, as in both of you, then your eyes shall be open, and ye, both of you, shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception in sorrow. Thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be unto thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat of the herb of the field. And in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return to the ground, for out of it wast thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt thou return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. And unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord God make coats of skins, and clothe them. And the Lord God said, Behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life, and eat and live forever. Therefore, the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. And that's all I am going to read for today. I actually kind of like reading it. Let me just bring myself back. I actually kind of like reading this. Let me see if I can bring a light on here. Let's get some light. There we go. I actually like reading the Bible without chapters or verses. It's kind of nice because it's just smooth instead of verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, all that kind of stuff. So I hope you got something out of it. My voice gets a little parched after a couple of chapters, but if it wasn't for the voice, if it wasn't for me getting parched, I would have no problem sitting down and just reading the entire book. I find Genesis that fascinating, and maybe one day I will do that where I'll just be like, you know what, I'm loaded up on water, and I'll just read from beginning to the end, just the entire book of Genesis in one reading. I think that'd be fun. There's enough stuff in there. There's enough history. It's a very powerful book, and if you do it right, and I've done this before, you can read it in 3 hours. The entire book of Genesis, and you can read a little bit quicker than that, but that's kind of at the place where I'm at right now, is where I can sit and just read an entire book. Not all the time. Obviously, Isaiah, like, are you kidding me? But the more you practice just sitting down, not setting a time limit or anything, and just saying, you know what, I'm just going to treat this like a movie. Like I would sit down watching a movie for 3 hours. Nobody seems to have a problem eating popcorn and watching a movie. just sit down and read the Bible. And sometimes what I'll do for something like Chronicles is I'll type in on YouTube Alexander Scobie reading Chronicles, and I will listen to him read it while I'm reading it to keep me on pace as well. So when you see the video, you'll see it's like 2 or 3 hours, and okay, that's how much time I have, and I'll just let it play. And you can get up and move away from the table. You make yourself a cup of coffee, but you're listening. And then when you come down, you can actually read the physical Bible as well. And I think there's something special about reading it out loud, listening to it, and then physically reading it as well at the same time, all at once. I think there's something special about that. So, yeah, Skirby is amazing. He's one of my favorite readers. If I could have 1/60th of a voice of his, it's amazing. Obviously, it's most likely edited a little bit to take out because it is difficult to read, but there are some people that can just read for hours on end. It's actually quite amazing. I've listened to some of the people reading like the Gospel of John. I forget the guy's name off the top of my head, but he actually is in a cathedral, and he just reads it right at starts right from the beginning, and he doesn't stop in front of a live audience or in front of an audience there. The show, it wasn't recorded live, but he was reading in front of people, and they would actually go and sit and listen to him read for like 3 hours. Let me just see while we're here, and then I'm going to go watch a baseball game on TV with my wife. But let me just let me see here. Let me see if I can find. Let's see. King James Bible audio. I think it's the Gospel of John. I think there's Alexander Scorby. Where's the guy that read it? These are good too. I like sometimes watching some of these because they have actually the verses themselves. Can you see that? Oh, you don't see it. Okay, let me just let me bring it up so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Let's get rid of this. Let's bring this up. Always forget to include you. All right. So this is so you got Alexander Scorby. This is actually fantastic.
This isn't just any chat. It's ClickUp chat. Sure, you can tag your team, ask questions.
Whoever says people don't listen to the King James Bible, look at this, 2.2 million views, 2 million, or 2 years ago. So let's just listen.
The Gospel according to St. John, chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
Pretty cool, right? That sounds amazing, actually. Yeah, is it David? David Suk. Let's see. I think you're right. There it is. I think that's the one. St. John. That's not the one there. He reads it in the cathedral somewhere. That's okay. Let's just go to this anyway. I think you just see him reading like here, but I know he reads it somewhere in a cathedral.
Out of his fullness, we have all.
That's one of the places.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.
It's pretty good.
There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came.
So the Gospel of John would take you about 2 hours and 23 minutes. I thought I just saw it here. There it is. What's that? Oh, yeah. Look at this here. Check it out.
So
check
let's say
this
you
out.
have to read an incredibly long email from your boss that you have to finish before the big meeting.
Right here. Let's see.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Oakley, and I'm the Chancellor here at St. Paul's. And it is my huge privilege to welcome you very warmly here this evening. It is wonderful to have you here. Apparently, on seeing the very large queue forming outside, there was a rumor going on outside that Beyonce was giving a concert here. If you're here to see Beyonce, this is a very, very special night for us here at the cathedral, because in a moment, David Suchet will read the whole of the Gospel according to Mark. It will take about 2 hours, and he's going to read without an interval. If that sounds a bit formidable, 2 hours is about a train ride to the Midlands, although I admit you're on economy seats.
So this is pretty good. I'll just get to the where he shows up here. And it's kind of cool because I think this is how we should read our Bible as well. A lot of people there.
I would like to start by making sure I can be heard, because in 2 hours' time, if I haven't been heard, I will be most upset. Can everybody hear me at this pace?
That's funny.
I would like to start by welcoming every single one of you. I'd like to welcome my family, who is here supporting me tonight, my friends, and friends from my own congregation. I know there are several people who have come from abroad to be here this evening, and I feel most humbled that that should be the case. And to all of you who are here tonight, thank you very, very much indeed. The Gospel of Mark this evening, as you will see from your programs, I'm going to dedicate to a friend of mine who is no longer with us. He was a wonderful actor by the name of Alec McCowan. I suppose he will be remembered as much as for anything for his stage performance of St. Mark's Gospel.
Let me just skip ahead here, but I encourage you to listen to this guy.
Ties you with water, and his brother John in a boat, well pleased. At once, the Spirit sent him out into the wilderness. And he was in the wilderness for 40 days, being tempted by Satan. He was with the wild animals, and angels attended him. After John was put in prison, Jesus went.
It's very good. Very good. I can listen to him all day long. So I'm very grateful for you guys listening in today. I know the title says Genesis, and we jumped into John a little bit, but I think the most important thing to take away from this is to be able to read the Bible also for yourself, as well as I proved the King James Bible isn't really that difficult to understand. I think people make it harder to understand, and they're afraid to give it a try for whatever reason. But you'll find that it actually flows when you start reading it. So thank you for joining me today. And then tomorrow, we have Rev 5. We have 5 panelists raring to go for tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, 5 p.m. 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central, and 5 p.m. Eastern. So I hope you'll join us tomorrow. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye for now.